Welcome to On the Move with yours truly, Wendy Saik of Joyful Living Real Estate Group. Did you know of buyers and sellers polled in 2021, they indicated that they just wanted to understand the process, the real estate process, the behind the scenes stuff. While 65%, nearly 65% of buyers polled indicated that they just wanted a home of their own, a place to call theirs. In this series of On the Move, we will be meeting with industry professionals to discuss just that, your home story and beyond. Welcome to On the Move. Hi, welcome to On the Move. I'm Wendy Saik with Joyful Living Real Estate Group, powered by CD&A Realtors. I'm here with Carly Crawford of Blue Jay Interiors. Carly, tell me a little bit about Blue Jay Interiors.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks so much for having me. We're glad to be here. Blue Jay Interiors is a full-service interior design firm based in Houston, Texas. I am the co-owner along with Stephanie Jones, and I am the principal interior designer.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So we're in good hands, guys. Stay with us because in a little bit we're going to be talking about the 2022 colors. You're also going to tell us who decides that.
Sure will.
But before we get there, Carly, tell me a little bit about the differences between interior design and an interior decorator. I know I've had those questions too.
Well, thanks so much for asking. I would love to tell you about those. So, I think the main difference is that an interior designer goes to school. So I have a bachelor's degree in interior design. And then after I got finished with that, I was able to sit for a test that Texas gives, kind of the same test that architects take just for interior designers. So I get to take that test and test our skills on codes and different drawings and things like that. So once you take that test, you then have to do continuing education every year. So I do 12 units, so that's 12 hours of continuing education. So I'm always up on what's happening and different ways to make sure that we're designing properly for our clients.
Very similar to real estate. I have to keep up with my hours every year as well. So
yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for that, because there's oftentimes I'll have a client that will, ask me, who do you recommend? So of course I recommend you, but then they'll say, well, do I really need a designer? Do I need a decorator? Like, what do I do? So thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Also, as far as Blue Jay Interiors, what is the scope of what y'all offer?
So as I said, we are a full-service interior design firm. So probably the first example I would give is if you're building a new home, you could come to us and we would partner with your builder and, well, at first your architect and then your builder. It's great to bring us in when we're in the architecture phase so that we can get everything completely right on the blueprints, because designers sometimes see things a little bit different than architects do. We think more in the furniture realm and a little bit more on how you're going to differently use the space. So people could bring us in at architecture phase, and we work with the builder through all the selection phase of, for all the hard selections, the countertops, the paint, the lighting, tile, we put the grout color.
Okay.
Our job is to come alongside you and bring your vision to life and make it easy for you. So that's one thing that we do, the full service, like I said, build from the ground up. The other thing that we do is remodels. So essentially that same.
I might be a candidate for
that. Let's do it. So same situation. If you wanted to bring me in for a remodel, depending on how big the scope was, I have different builders and different remodelers that I've worked with in the past, but I also love to work with new builders and remodelers. So again, we partner together, we figure out a time frame, and we work to get everything selected in a timely manner for the builder so that it goes as fast as possible, because remodel is tough. especially when you're living in your house. So we want to really think about the timeline with that. The other wonderful thing that we do is completely custom furniture. We work with a lot of vendors in North Carolina and beyond to source fabulous furniture in all different price points and all different styles.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you said was making it easy. How many of y'all out there, when you are going through the new construction phase and you go to the design center, I can tell you, many of my clients, their heads want to explode. I have fun with it. So I kind of help them through some of that too, and helping make those selections. Over the course of working with my clients as they're picking out their homes, I get to know them and how their life flows. And so they have found value in me helping them, but of course I'm not an expert. So I would imagine as you're going through that process too, you get pretty close with your clients also.
That is definitely, interior design is, and especially in residential. So we focus on residential. We also do commercial. We love the opportunity to do commercial projects. So far, the commercial projects that we've got to do are usually our residential clients. Then they bring us, from their house to then their office. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But we totally, we have to become a part of your life as much as you want us to. It's not like we're intruding, but it is. Your home is special. It's where you have your family. It's where
life happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is you do get to know your clients very well, and it's a process that we love and that's fun. I love being with people. I love being on site. It's all of those things.
Yeah.
So
it's one reason why I love my job as a realtor, because I love my people.
Yeah.
I love helping people. And I think for me, it's the part that is past the closing table. It's the part that is the and beyond.
Yeah.
And that's where the good stuff is, I think. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Okay, and I'm following my list, guys. If you see me look down, it's just so that I get all of the questions answered that many of you have chimed in on when I've asked for your help for content. So we also had another question come up about how does an interior designer, where do they get their inspiration from? And how do they just nail it every time? And you kind of answer that by getting to know the family, or the person, but where do you get your inspiration from?
So that definitely, that's a great point. Every family is different. Every client is different. I've designed for single people and couples and families and multi-generational families, so I start with that. And then, design is that blend of form and function. That's another thing that I didn't mention. We were talking about the difference between interior design and interior decorating. Decorating is fabulous, but it's a lot about accessories and color and how does it look. And design moves more into the function of a space.
Yeah.
So we always talk about that first. How is this space going to function for you? How is it not? If it's a remodel, how is it not functioning? And how do we need to change it? And if it's a new build, how do you want it to function? And so the function is first. Then we talk about, what do you do for hobbies? Like you have horses, so if we were going to work on your house, we would talk about you and your husband's hobbies and the horses, and we would look at the land around your house. A lot of the times, your land can speak to kind of how you need to design the exterior of your house. Then we would kind of just, I find what that person kind of hones in on. I have a client that loves to kayak, so we're designing a custom piece done by a metal artist that's a kayak and waves for his office. It's super cool. So it's all about the client and what's that one piece that we find, and then how do we build off of that.
Yeah. Something I have found, so we recently moved into our new home in January, and something I've told my husband is as I add wall art, I want it to mean something. I want someone, when they come into my house for the first time, to feel like when they leave, that they know a little bit more about me just by being in my house.
I love that.
So anyway.
That's great. I have a client too that makes me think of a client I have. He's actually a landscape architect, but he's having me help him on the interior.
Yeah.
And he's gonna. He came up with this idea to frame blueprints of his grandma's house back in the day.
That's awesome.
And they're actual old blueprints, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. And that's different, you know, for every client. I mean, we can frame whatever, you know?
That's really
Makes
cool.
it super fun.
I have, this is kind of a sidebar, guys, but I do have my son. He had a project in class. Gosh, this was back when he was in high school, and he had to draw. It was like an architecture or something kind of class, and it was just an elective. But anyway, he had to draw a house.
Okay.
Well, and I was in real estate,
Yeah,
so I have this, and it's framed in my office. So it's just kind of fun, and it's something that he did. Anyway, that's just a sidebar. But okay. Well, I know you guys are all here to know what the color for 22 is, because spring is coming, and we all want to freshen up our houses. So, Carly, can you tell me a little bit about who decides the color for the year? I mean, who came up with that?
You know, I've wondered that same thing for many years. I think that's a great question. And really, you know, Pantone is kind of, I'm sure everyone's heard of Pantone. So they set the stage for colors. But then the different paint companies, I think, do as well. And they actually have people called colorists that work for them, that do research. It's also tied to the fashion industry, which is really cool. Usually it's in fashion first and then in interiors.
Really?
That's kind of how it flows. So I work a lot with Sherwin-Williams, and their color of the year for 2022
drum roll, please.
is Evergreen Fog, and we'll show you some more of it later, but it is a beautiful, just soft, almost neutral green, and that kind of starts the palette. They actually have a whole palette that they're forecasting for next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that.
So all the grays, guys, grays, beige, I mean, all of that, all the shades of gray. Like, what's happening with that?
So I feel like the cool grays have been in a while, and they're more on their way out, and that the warmer colors. I mean, so I'll just give y'all a little flash of this. I don't know if you know, there's a lot of color. There's the warmer, you know, kind of the warmer neutrals. But I'm also here to say that it is your house. And I always tell my clients, whatever makes you happy is what you need to have.
Yeah.
So this is a great starting point to say, like, what's out there and how can I pair these colors with what I do have, or what does make me happy. You want to feel happy and content in your house. So don't ever feel like, oh, I have to do just this, and this. Design is very fluid. You know, but this is a great place to start if you're like, I don't know what to do, you know?
Where do I start?
Yeah.
Well, and it's expensive. I mean, let's talk about that for a second, because I don't know about y'all, but I certainly cannot be redoing my interior as much as I would like to. But I can't redo my interior just because Pantone says that the color of my interior is not the color of the year.
Right, exactly.
So, I don't. So maybe once we get into the color palettes, we can talk a little bit about how to kind of easy ways maybe to keep things current, even if your color of the year isn't the right one.
Exactly. So, I love that.
Okay. Well, Carly, I think we should maybe just get to it as far as what you've got to show us today.
Sounds good.
Okay. This is tray 1, and I adore it. Wait till y'all see it.
Okay, so tray 1 is made up of all different kind of elements that follow the first color palette, and this color palette is called Method. So it's a lot of natural. I'm sure y'all have seen all the natural things come back, the rattan, anything woven.
A lot of texture.
Yes, so much texture. There, I don't know if y'all can see that, but kind of an inspiration picture. So mode is all about, it's kind of modern organic with a little bit of Art Deco. So I'll get into it. So again, that's the colors.
Okay.
Okay. Beautiful,
I
right?
love it. Oh, and there's that evergreen
Yes.
fog.
We're starting with the color of the year, so it
Okay.
starts here, okay? And then I think they kind of just built everything around that.
Okay.
So first thing is a couple of fabrics. So not everything textural has to be casual. So that's kind of my first thought on that. I know a lot of people think that maybe the rattan might be too casual, but even something like this, just a beautiful velvet with a nice, it just has a nice striation and a few different colors, but a lot of neutrals in it as well. So this would make great pillows. This would make a beautiful upholstered chair. So we have that guy, and then another fabric just, again, has a nice little chenille texture to it, and just a solid, as far as, or more monochromatic color, not having a lot of colors in it, but still has a lot of interest with that texture.
Well, it has, like, not being an interior designer, but when I look at it, I see depth and texture, and it's not just a flat color.
Right.
And I've noticed when I'm looking at rugs for my house, there's a lot of this sheen. What did you call that?
So this is like a chenille.
Okay. There's a lot of that I'm seeing in the rugs now.
Yeah. In a rug, it would be called viscose. So it gives that really pretty sheen.
Yeah.
So talking about rugs, so I have one here from a company that we partner with called Surya. We love their rugs. They have a lot of different price points and a lot of different styles of rug. So this is just a woven, completely 100% jute. So these are super fun. They'll come in all different sizes. So again, that's just that beautiful texture, very monochromatic. There's plenty of them out there that have a lot of color too, but in keeping with this color palette, kind of pulled this one for y'all. So,
and I feel like these put together, we were talking earlier about keeping up with the trend and how hard that can be sometimes. And so I feel like, are there certain pieces in your house that you would recommend that stay neutral? I mean, is that a thing? So that way you can change out accents?
If you want to start with the basics, staying neutral, something like your sofas. Pick something for your sofa and your love seat that you're gonna love forever, that's gonna last. If you have kids, maybe not a white sofa,
But if they're in college, if you're the investor, then you can do the white all day long.
If you have young kids. Right. So that's always a good base, and then maybe your rug changes or your pillows change, So yeah, that's a great question. I think picking a sofa color that you really love, and because your sofas are an investment, so you're going to have those usually for, at least 5 years, maybe more, depending on the client. So,
oh my gosh. Sneak peek into my life. I adore my husband. Anyone who knows me knows that I do. I had to beg him for a new couch because it was just time, girl. It was time, and I love the set we have. To your point, it's very neutral. Got the nice little nail head trims around it. I just love it, but it is neutral. And I've noticed with the holidays coming, I can pair holiday pillows with it.
Yep,
and
that's a great point.
And it goes really well because it's neutral.
Right.
So anyway.
Yep. I like to do neutral sofas a lot of the times, and then maybe fun chairs, because even though chairs are upholstery pieces, you maybe change them out or move them to a different room.
My mother did that. She has neutral couches. She has white, as a matter of fact. Well, close to white. And then she did some really fun chairs.
Right.
This collection is called Method from Sherwin-Williams, and it's derived from nature and kind of a nod to postmodernism, modern organic, and a little bit of Art Deco. So you're going to see lots of textures in wall coverings and on fabrics. Then you're going to see textural rugs, and then also natural colors and a cork wall covering.
Carly, I am super excited about what you're bringing us right now. This is awesome.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. I mean, who?
But this is one of my favorite colors.
What? Yeah. What lady doesn't love a little bit of pink? So, this palette is called Dreamland.
It's beautiful.
So I don't know if y'all can see here.
Dreamland.
Okay. So tons of, well, not tons, but 3 different kind of shades of pink. Then we have a really pretty green in, again, that's actually called Rosemary. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this palette. So it's really kind of derived from renewal and biomimicry, which is just mimicking the exterior, you know, and biology. So then it's all about wellness too. So that's where that green comes in. So the pink is like a balance to all the pretty greens that we see. So I pulled a piece of rosemary from Stephanie's garden, and it smells fabulous, right?
Yes.
It's falling apart. But just thinking about how can you use greenery in your space? And there's all different types of, there's different ways, you know, I mean, you could have your spices, you know, sometimes those will be in your kitchen window, they'll be in your garden. You can have real house plants throughout your house, or you can have great faux plants. You know, but the idea of bringing the outside in and connecting the spaces is kind of where this palette is derived from. So that's the green element, and then let's talk about the pink. Well, the soft pinks and a little bit of like, so they call it light lavender and rosé, and then what's this one? Dynamo.
Okay.
We always wonder who names these.
Yes.
Isn't that a fun job?
Not only who comes up with the color of the year, but who sits and names them.
Yeah.
This is a pretty cool power color, and yeah, Dynamo works well.
Isn't that fun? So kind of the lighter versions of that, something like this. This is a linen with what I do a lot to kind of show people how draperies would look is kind of do that and do this so that you can see what happens when there's a fold in it. You know, it won't be that creased, but just to give you the idea, you know, 'cause sometimes when it's flat, you can't really see exactly what it's going to look like. But when we gather it, you know,
it takes on a whole other life.
Right.
Yeah.
So this could be beautiful. This is from Tebow. It's got the white and the lilac and the kind of neutral background. So that's fun. And then talking about nature, I pulled some tiles that resemble wood. So this is actually called Le Bois, and it is, so this is
say that a few times.
So this is a huge piece of tile, and you can actually see it's made in Italy. They create it it's actually 3D, you know, so I don't know if y'all can see that. It's so fun, just a fun way to clad a wall as opposed to wall covering of, you know.
There's that word again, guys, wall covering.
So again, could be used in a commercial space, in a residential space. Could be used to make like a border, the entry to a room, like coming from your living room to your kitchen, kind of that cased opening. You know, that's something different to think about. You know, just a fun architectural element that you could use. Then, in staying in that same vein, that same tile company has these guys. So, aren't these fun? I know, I love this. So, a lighter color, if you want to hold that one, and then they also come in the darker color. So, yep, you could make all different kinds of patterns. I don't know if y'all can, I'll show you this. Look how fun that is.
Well, and I've seen too on, again, going back to new construction and touring model homes and kind of staying abreast of all of that.
Yeah.
You see a lot of an accent wall where it's tiled or there's brick or there's a wall covering or something.
Something to add a little bit of interest.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
A dining room is a great place to do that. And it doesn't have to be just a wall, you know, it could be
a fireplace.
Yes,
Fireplace.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful place to use that. So
These
just
are nice.
fun shapes, you know, thinking.
You can see the textures, like different colors in that.
Yeah, they really look like wood.
I like
so that's another great way. We're showing you some fun shapes here, but obviously they come in plank sizes, for floors. So if you want the look of wood floors without the maintenance of wood floors, tile is a great way to go.
This is called Dreamland from Sherwin-Williams. It actually features the 2020 color of the year. That is rosemary. So you can see we have some natural rosemary there for inspiration. This is built off of renewal, wellness, biomimicry, and just eco style. So lots of light pinks, lots of greens, and natural wood tones.
Carly, thank you so much for the previous palette. I'm really excited to see this one. I love the colors here.
We do. We have lots of colors in this one, Wendy. Lots of rich, dark tones. This one is called Opus from Sherwin-Williams, if y'all can see the beautiful color palette here. So this is, maximalism, which is the opposite of minimalism, so very rich, very deep, a little bit of glam, think theater, think eclectic and moody. So this is kind of just an inspiration, this dark wall color. Yep. This is probably in the Garrett gray. So love the tones that gives. And what I did was, again, pull some options, just different kind of things that you could use to go with this color palette. So this one, this coral, I don't know if y'all can see it, coral clay. I found this really fun tile. Just a fun way to add a little bit of color somewhere. So this is a great tile you can use in a shower, a backsplash, it doesn't have to be the whole thing, a little bit goes a long way with color. Less is more. There you go. So then another fun thing that I have was another wall covering. Again, this one is, it's a mix of all natural fibers. So it looks like a silk, which is really beautiful and it feels great. So again, probably not going to go in an area that has too much traffic, or this is a nice master bedroom wall covering, maybe at the back of a bookcase or, a study. It could be really beautiful. So just that really pretty blackberry kind of plum color.
Very pretty.
Then some other fun things that could work are a few more tiles. So there's a color in this one called, what's it called? Samovar Silver, and this is a new tile from Thorn Tree that has just a really awesome
nice shimmer.
Metallic background. So it's metallic in the back and then it's glass. I don't know if y'all can kind of see. That's really
pretty.
Yeah. So again, with subways, you can do them in a running bond, you can do them vertically, you can do them in a herringbone. They're really fun to work with. So this particular one is great for not wet areas. So a kitchen backsplash would be okay, because it doesn't get super wet. Maybe fun in like a laundry room backsplash, again, because you're not really doing a whole lot with water in there. But this wouldn't be good for a shower, but it is, I like to put that out there because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I want that tile for my shower. Well,
and I feel like with the way the light hits this as a backsplash, if you had under cabinet lighting or something, it would probably really illuminate that a lot.
It really would. That'd be beautiful.
It's very pretty.
That'd be super fun in a kitchen. Then we have another, we'll just stick with the tiles. I don't know if y'all can see the texture in this guy. It's has kind of this rain texture to it. So it is a glass. This comes in a ton of different sizes. And really, this palette has one of my favorite Sherwin-Williams colors, and it's navel. So I don't know if y'all can see navel right there.
Yes. One of the builders that I work with, actually, they use navel on the exterior of shutters.
Oh.
And it is
that sounds
beautiful.
Really pretty. I love that.
Beautiful.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So this guy can really go anywhere. This can go in showers. So it comes in bigger sizes, comes in like a hexagon. It's a fun one. Let's see. Then we'll move on to this one. So
that's fun.
Isn't that fun? Just some like the 3D. I don't know if y'all can kind of see the detail in that. Yeah, it's really fun. So this could be great. This comes in a lot of different colors. So I've done it where I've mixed it, so it comes in a white also. So you could make a really dramatic effect with that. like a pattern on a modern fireplace. Could be really fun. So it is raised, so it would not be a floor tile, so it's a wall tile only. Again, another benefit to working with a design firm is just knowing what materials to place in what places.
Yeah, absolutely.
What applications.
Yeah.
So then we have a wonderful shade from Hunter Douglas that really brings in that dark, rich color again, and that could be really beautiful in a master bedroom. We can add blackout actual fabric to the back of this, so that it's, you know, not only beautiful and textural from the front, but gives you that function of blackout for sleeping. So guest bedroom, you know, this would also be nice in like a den or a men's study with that rich color.
This collection is called Opus, and it's full of dark, moody colors inspired by the theater and a little bit of glam, industrial. It's very maximalist and it's very moody. So lots of, like I said, lots of rich colors and a little bit of glam.
Carly, I have to say, when I look at this next palette, it just makes me smile. Guys, look at sneak peek. This is what's coming. It is so precious. There's a lot happening here. I just wouldn't even know what to do with all this.
Well, that's where I come in.
Absolutely.
So,
tell me about this, and I love this.
All right, so these fun colors are derived from this palette from Sherwin-Williams, and it's called Ephemera.
Ephemera. Okay, guys. Ephemera. That just sounds relaxing. Has a little sexy tone.
It does.
Fun tone.
So ephemera is...
I'm going to do like a shoulder roll.
Hey, ephemera is all about nostalgia, meaning and memory and optimism, and I feel like it has a little bit of a mid-century modern vibe. I don't know if y'all could see that. Yeah. And then kind of these inspirations here.
I just love these colors. These are really great colors.
So you're right, there's a lot of color here. So we have kind of actually 3 different blues. You know, we have a green, we have a coral, kind of a rust. There's a little bit of pink in there. Again, just really fun and very happy. So this wall covering that Wendy was showing, I mean, that just screams fun, and how can you not
smile
be
when you look at
it? So how fun would this be in a laundry room or a mud room? That'd be, and I think it comes in a few different colorways too. So that was fun. So pulling together different colors, it's all about how you use them in the space. So like when we look at this palette, it's like, oh, well, the sofa might not be a print, you know, maybe that's just a pillow, or maybe if the sofa is a print, then you have a solid rug and 2 solid chairs to go with it. I know you're talking about like, how would we put all this together?
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that I struggle with in my own home is just the continuity and the flow from one room to another,
right?
To where when you walk into it, it just works, and the flow is good.
Yeah,
and it's not overwhelming, you know.
And that's, I think, something that helps me with that is repetition and color, but just in different ways. You know, so think about that flow. Think about repetition, even just within a room. Repetition of color in different elements. You know, I think that really helps things flow.
Okay.
So
good.
That answers your question.
No, it does.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, sorry, we got off track. We got off track. So
back to this
fun palette. Okay.
So,
ephemera.
Right. So it says a piece of your past and a look to your future. So I love that. Sherwin-Williams, y'all are so great. So I picked this fabric. I just thought, doesn't that feel like the past? I mean, it feels very mid-century to me.
Kind of retro.
Yes, very retro.
Yeah, kind of takes you back.
We've got a woven here, a cotton polyester, which, you know, would be great for a fun chair, a fun ottoman.
On that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so all kinds of colors in here. Love that guy. Then in that same regard with fabric, I pulled an exterior fabric for you guys just to show y'all how fun exterior fabrics can be. So this one is made by Tebow, and it is essentially, they're light fast and you can clean them with Clorox.
Okay.
So we could do a chaise lounge out of this, we could do pillows out of this.
Okay.
They're not going to mildew. They can be undercover or they can be out by the pool. So, and the hand is great still.
Yeah,
like it doesn't feel too like crisp.
So this is something that, not to throw out brands or names or whatever, but like my outdoor furniture is Sunbrella, and I like it for all of the things that you mentioned.
Yep,
so,
Sunbrella is another great line.
Okay, and so so you can not only take an existing piece of furniture, if someone says, come into my home, help me have the continuity and the color and just a refresh,
right?
But this chair is staying, Carly, it's not going anywhere. So but we want this fabric, so you can just take, you have vendors, I guess business partners that you can recommend to recover things. Okay.
For sure, that's a great question. So we have great upholsterers actually in town in Houston that will recover existing pieces. They can even redo the foam or the springs if that needs to be redone.
Perfect.
So there's always, you know, when that comes up, then we talk about cost to keep the older furniture and redo it or to buy new furniture. And it's all about, again, since this is talking about retro and past, you know, there's pieces that I love from my past that will always be in my house. So we love that. If you have those pieces, we can figure out how to make them work, reupholster them.
Okay. And what about, like, do you restaining or painting like a buffet or table
we have
chairs?
a company that does all of that for us. So he's fabulous. He will restain existing pieces. He can just touch them up. He can fix them. He can do all of those. And then I have a fabulous painter too if we get into talking about painting furniture.
So what I'm hearing, guys, is we can not only refresh our home, but we can keep the pieces we have and just partner with you on getting them a little bit of facelift per se.
There you go. That's a great point.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So this palette is called Ephemera, and it is blended of lots of fun, bright colors. Really, Sherwin-Williams did a great job talking about the influences for this palette. It's nostalgia, retro, meaning and memory, and optimism. So we have the fun oranges, the blues, a little bit of the greens, and I've blended some tiles, some wall covering, and some fabrics for you all to see.
Carly, thank you so much for today. I really, really enjoyed my time with you, and I think our friends did too. I learned all about wall coverings and colors, what's coming in 22. That's pretty exciting.
A lot of color.
I think that as spring is coming, I know Christmas, we gotta get through the holidays, but I'm already thinking about the things that I want to do, and I'm sure I'm not by myself. So if our friends would like to have more inspiration and get an idea, maybe there's someone out there that doesn't quite know what they want to do, but they need to do something. So for inspiration, where would they find that?
So they can always follow us on Instagram. I try to post all of our, a lot of the behind the scenes and kind of fun things that I'm doing, and projects as we're going along, before, during, and after. So we have our Instagram and our Facebook at just Blue Jay Interiors. You can find us, follow us there. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you were actually my first guest on the Move with Wendy Saik, Joyful Living Real Estate Group. So I'm super, super happy that you joined me today. If they would like to hire you and have you come out and give them a consult, is that the same? Do they go to your social media channels? Do they contact you directly? What should we do?
So with that, the easiest way to get a hold of us is to go to our website. It's just bluejayinteriors.com. There's a contact form on the bottom. You can fill that out. Myself or Stephanie will get back with you directly, and we'll schedule it and get going.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm super.
You are super. I've enjoyed
it a ton.
Isn't she super?
I've enjoyed it. It's been really fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this first episode of On the Move with Wendy Saik, Joyful Living Real Estate Group. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching this episode of On the Move. Don't forget to push subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. And follow me on all social media. See you next time on the Move.